So I've got a final question for you.
Hmm.
Could you maybe give me and audiences a little tease for what's next?
Like, here we go.
Hello and welcome everyone to interviews with Don't Dial David. Today I'm here with SoundCloud and YouTube artist Devon.
Hello, that's me. Happy to be here.
Now today we're going to go behind the scenes and creative process for the new album and overall what it means to be an artist. I'd first like to say congratulations and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to be on the interview. Share some behind the scenes, share some thoughts, everything that went into it.
Brilliant.
So I'm excited.
Brilliant. We're going to start off with some nice, questions. Um, what is what was like the main inspiration for this new album?
So basically, um,
Mm.
my main inspiration, I had a lot of inspirations going into it, but the main inspiration was just to get something to prove that, like, well, I call myself a rapper, right? So I feel like I need to show people that I can rap, because on the last album, Flag Bearer, I was doing lots of things like singing. I was doing more R&B cuts, and I was looking back at everything I've done, and I thought, I've never shown my lyrics well enough to a point where I feel like, yeah, I'm happy with calling myself a rapper. So I felt like I needed something to go out there, and I didn't even want to do any production. I wanted to just focus on me and what I'm saying. So the Orange Enthusiast is a great producer, absolutely amazing, but I was on his collab album with D Ship, who's now called Black Sheep Mojo, and I thought I better contact him because he'll just be the right man for the job and it'll be great. So we did, and then, like I said, I wanted to prove myself, and I think I did. I don't know about you, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
what was going into it.
yeah, I really enjoyed the album. I was straight
Thank,
listening to it when it came out. It was class. It was brilliant.
thank you.
But when did you first start working on the album?
I started working on it around February. That's when I
Oh,
contacted
brilliant.
Orange Enthusiast, and I got some songs done, about
Mm,
four. I remember, I think Like That was the first one I made, which is the first single that I
yeah,
put out. So that's the earliest song that I made. And, we worked on it, we did lots of revisions on each song, and it went all the way until the day it released. I was working on stuff, and then I finished two songs on that day because I had a bunch of writer's block in between, which is just typical. And then it came down to the last day, and I thought, I'm going to get this done, and I really won't be happy with myself if anything else happened. And the thought of not doing
yeah,
it didn't even come in my head, so I just rushed.
yeah,
Well, not rushed, but I made sure that we got it done, and then we did. And then I
yeah.
thought it was meant to come out on Sunday the day after, but I thought, forget that, we'll drop it early. I know everyone's been waiting, so yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, nice. Was there like a specific message or like feeling that you wanted your listeners to take away from it?
Yeah, there was a few,
Mhm.
although I don't think you would get it while listening necessarily, because it normally just sounds
Yeah,
like, "Hey, I'm me, I'm a big guy, I'm the best," you know what I mean? But um,
yeah,
I tried to, the typical things you'd get with the genre, but tried to put some messages, there's some love songs. I tried to do a lot of storytelling on this one. Um,
yeah,
I was gonna have some songs. I'm gonna have to listen back over them, which is crazy because I've spent months making them. But I'm gonna have to
yeah,
listen back over because I feel like I tried to put some themes in there of like just believing in yourself, which I try and put in everything, and just being undeniably you. Because I feel like this album is undeniably me because I just put my all into it. And yeah, so
yeah.
not really many themes, but I more just wanted to get across a feeling instead of like a message. Just more like
Yeah.
yeah. I know that's not worded well, but yeah, you know what I mean.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. We've got a few like very like song writing kind of questions.
Right? Yeah.
So,
That's what
which
I do.
song was the hard with? Which song was the hardest to make and why?
Hardest to make.
Yeah.
Now I could say one that there was two which were you know what I'm trying to say. There were two which were pretty hard to make.
Yeah.
That was Mardi Gras and Problems. And Mardi Gras, I would say, was the hardest because
Mm.
it just went through so many renditions. You know, I didn't know if I wanted a chorus on it, and there was going to be a feature on it. I didn't get the feature in time, so I had to, shelve that sort of rendition of it, which may come back later. But I had to do so many different things into it, so many different ideas to sort of toss around in it, and it came until the very last day, like I said before. So that was probably the hardest to make. Not necessarily the hardest to write, but just to make, end up with something that I was happy enough with. That was the hardest part. And then I'd say Problems for the same reason because I couldn't quite nail what I wanted to do with it until the very end. Did I want to put chorus in it? I didn't in the end. So I put that little interlude with Ric Flair going into the feature from Yedna. So,
Yeah.
there was little things like that which went into it. Which even though it surprisingly was made quite quickly, the album, it did take a while to nail some things in the way you
Yeah.
heard them on the album.
Mm.
A lot of it came quite easily though, actually. I think I was just
Really?
inspired
Yeah.
to put it out and make it. So I feel like a lot of things was just on the flow of the conveyor belt sort of in my mind to say, right, we're fired up. We want to make a rap album, which is a rap album.
Mhm.
So let's just
Yeah.
rap and then boom. So yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, nice one. Um, so like, what do you when making the music and like even like all music you make, what do you start with?
So there's kind of two answers for that
Mm.
because when for this album, I'll start with this album. For this album, it normally started with me asking Orange Enthusiast, well, have you got a beat with this feeling? Or have you got a beat like the one you just sent me, but in a bit of a different way? And then I'd get that back, and things would either click or they wouldn't, and the ones that clicked, well, they clicked, and then I thought, yeah, I need to use that and then it just got my brain going with some lyrics, because I wasn't in charge of the production on this one. But in terms of everything else I've done, it's definitely the instrumentals, the production, because I'll always just be coming up with different ideas, coming up with different, I don't know. I thought of this bridge while I was on a walk the other day, and I thought about this drum pattern while I was at school the other day, and things like that. So I'm always coming up with ideas, and I feel like I need to get home and just put that down. So when I put that down, the rest of the song unveils itself from there. So I would normally say that instrumentals and production is what I start with, apart from rare occasions where I'll have the idea of what I want to say or what I want the song to be about, and I'll create something for it that sort of has that same feeling or genre or vibe or whatever you want to call it. So that's the rare occasion, but I would say, in answer to your question, instrumental production is what comes first when I'm making something.
Brilliant. Yeah, nice, nice. Do you have like a favorite and least favorite from the album?
I would say that's a good question.
Mm.
I'm not gonna use the interludes and the outro because they're not really fair enough to rank with the other songs because they're not. That's not what they're there to do. Um, I think my favorite would be Mardi Gras. I'm really proud of that
Oh.
one, and I
Mm.
toss it up with vocal chords. There's a certain bit of vocal chords which I like more than the rest of the whole album. It's when the beat first switches and I use a certain flow. I don't know why. Once I laid that down, I thought, yeah, I really like that. I'm proud that I did that. But then I'd say Mardi Gras as a whole song because the minute I got it finished properly, I just thought, yeah, that's the hit of the album. That's the right one. And then I sent it to the producer. He agreed. So that would be my favorite. My least
Yeah.
favorite would maybe be Stay With Me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was. It has one of my favourite instrumentals, but I feel like. Um, with everything else I was doing on the album, I think it's cool to have more of a chill, mellowed out one, like you have with Witch, but I don't know if I felt like a bit challenged trying to write a love song after that's all I've sort of wrote for all my other verses and songs, and it feels like, well, this has been tried and tested by me before. I don't feel like I'm really challenging myself. So even if I try and do it, and with different ways of saying I love you than I have before, I feel like
Yeah.
maybe that's the one where I had the least to say on and the least to
Hmm.
prove because I've proved that before. So
Yeah.
I would say that's my least favorite on the album, but I
Yeah.
still love it though.
Yeah. So we're gonna get onto like questions just off the album, like to do with all your songs. It can be
Yeah.
with your album and not on your album. Which song of all of them you've done do you recommend people should play if it's like their first time listening to your music?
Ooh, that's a great question. um, I feel like if you want the thesis for Seven, if you want to hear all
Mm.
of me on the first listen, I would maybe say something like drum roll. I'd probably say something like Think the Same, maybe.
Yeah, that was my first one. I really like that
Is
one.
that yeah? But you're
Yeah.
proud I've said that now. But I
Yeah.
would say I'd say Think the Same, even though I'm not entirely sure on the answer yet. But we'll just go with that because I've said it now. Because
Yeah.
well, I always put rap in my songs. I always try and put some melodic chorus in, and I'll always try and
Yeah.
put some interesting chords because I always think I need to put the best chords in it I can. So I'd maybe
Yeah.
go with that, but then I always feel like I'm either chill and melodic or I'm going all out crazy. And if I'm going all out crazy, I'd probably go with Soldier as the other song
Uh,
because
mm.
I've been told by people who listen that that's their favorite, and I can see why because I feel like it was a very focused idea, and I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it hard hitting, and it has like a nearly 2 minute long verse I think on the end, which is like, whoa. So I feel like they're the two answers. Even though you said one song, we're gonna bend the rules a
Yeah.
bit and give you two. So that's my answers for that question.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, yeah. I mean, all your songs are brilliant, but I just think
I'll stop
some
it.
like think. But it was, yeah, I agree with Think the Same. It's a really good one. Catchy.
Yeah.
But do you have a plan for like any concerts in the future?
Well, I don't have a plan of sorts. I have
Hmm.
hopes and goals to do, you know. You could always,
Yeah,
I always hope to try and, get to a festival or something like that. But it's not completely off the cards. It's something which could make itself possible at some point in the future.
yeah,
But I don't have anything. I did get invited to an online festival. I don't know if anyone who's watching seen that they might have with by Gianni Samuels, who's a great other young. He's one of them young artists that I try and show love to, who are always pushing the boat, and I can see that they're all just very creative and they've got great ideas like Mischief the Kid and everybody else, Kid in Dreams. So he invited me to this
yeah.
festival, and I thought he's just got a great creative idea. So I want to
Hmm.
be in this with him, and everyone else joined the festival. So even if it's just me in front of the TV, like singing to myself, it's a taste. It's a taste of the energy you could get in the future.
Yeah,
And if anything live show does happen, it'll be coming on this channel. By the way, I'm gonna put it here for everyone anywhere in the world, whether you're watching in America or I don't know Nigeria. You can have a watch of the live show. So yeah.
yeah, no, well, brilliant. Um, well, if you could like describe this era of your music in one sentence, what would it be?
Ooh. This era right now, I would say focused, I would say points to be proven, and I would say a showcase of skill. I would say
Mhm.
that's not really a sentence of sorts, but that's what I would drill it down to, because I feel like that's just I don't know what the word is, but the meaning of making this project, kind of, to do those three things and to show that I can be a lyricist if I want to, and that
Mhm.
I can prove that, I'm more multifaceted than just singing some cute songs. So that's what I'd also say, but I'd also say I've seen a lot more community built in this era,
Mhm.
and I've seen a lot of people coming together, which is what I love to see. So I would maybe say togetherness, because it's a collab album at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
maybe collaboration, togetherness, they go hand in hand. But I'd add that into the mix as well, because it's just
Mhm.
I've seen so much love from everyone that I really appreciate. And we've had collabs this year. Clodsome, I was on his album. We're gonna get on another album very soon, but he's dropping. So that's what I'd also say for this era, togetherness. And I love to see it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah, it's brilliant. Um, now that the album's like finally out to the world, what does this like mean to you personally?
Um, it's a funny feeling because it's good and bad. Because it's good because I always love to put out the new music. See the reaction from everybody. I love to
Yeah.
put new art in the world. That's what I do as an artist. But it's annoying because you've got nothing to work on, and it's like being dropped into a giant sea of possibilities, and it's like, well, God, where do I even want to start now? So um, it'll take a while for me to start working on some new stuff, and we'll see what happens. Even though I've got ideas now, but that's the only
Yeah.
annoying thing about putting a new album out, because it's like, oh no, I have nothing to look forward to and to build up to. But um,
Mm.
I'm really happy how the album's turned out, and it feels great
Yeah.
to sort of give it to everybody.
Yeah. We can
So
all
yeah,
listen. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant.
if I
So
if I had £10 every time you said brilliant, I'd be able to like do
it's my
perform
favorite.
this album at Coachella, bro.
It's actually just my favorite word. I don't know what it is,
Yeah, you know what? I love it. You
but
could have worse words to be your favorite, couldn't you?
it's either
Brilliant.
G Whiz or brilliant. It's one of them
Gee
two.
whiz. Oh my days.
There you
Right. Anyway.
go.
Yeah.
So we've got a final question for you.
Hmm.
Could you maybe give me and the audiences a little tease for what's next?
Like I said, I've got some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
A little sneak peek.
not all of them are music.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 'Cause
Oh.
even though I didn't put any music videos or anything out this year, I wanted to test the waters with the album trailer. And even looking back,
Mm.
it's like, bro, that's awful. But it's like, it was sort of like, I just needed to make my own sort of cinematic
Yeah.
piece instead of a music piece. And I'm actually quite proud of how it
Yeah.
turned out. I was writing up scripts, I was trying to get in characters, I was trying to build even a bit of humour into it. And,
Yeah.
you had the not prosthetic, but I had all makeup and ketchup all over me like a vampire. So I really love the experience of making that. And I feel like I'd
Get
love
like
to maybe make some music videos for this album. Definitely would be something really cool to do.
you're gonna get like more people involved if you're gonna do something more like that. Do you think?
Yeah, because it'd be a bit awkward
Mhm.
if it's just me, like,
Yeah.
talking to myself in some video. Yeah, well, like I said before, togetherness is a big part of it, so I'd really love to collaborate with some people in the film world.
Yeah.
Any other artists, small artists like me on YouTube or anything like that, or people in my local community, we'll definitely get
Yeah.
something done like that. But music wise, and for ideas, I would say don't expect anything similar to what you've had recently.
Ooh.
because I would
Okay.
say I've sort of narrowed it down to two lanes I would want to go to. Because I've been working on this
Mm.
stuff while working on Citronica and beforehand. So I've sort of not let the ideas ruminate yet and I've not let them grow. But I would
Yeah.
say I'd be really interested to do some sort of some things with elements of even jazz or with some nearly countryish ideas, like proper
Mm.
out there. I'd go full on, full 180 from
Really?
what I've done from now, yeah. Because I feel like I've grown as sort of a songwriter in the sense of the music, not the lyrics. Because even though I love
Mm.
rap, I feel like I've just made a rap album which is meant to be my thesis of a rap album for me. I feel like I want to come up with something which is here's what Seven would do if he sat down at the piano, for example.
Mm.
So I'm not saying that's going to be like an hour long, like yeah, but you know, we're going to have some sort of something like that. Would be interesting. It's either that, and it's going to be really easy listening, or we're going to go crazy experimental. And you're gonna them
Yeah.
headphones on your head. You're gonna have to hold them like this, listening. It's gonna be really like Seven. This is cool, bro. But you know, maybe turn the volume down a bit. You know,
Yeah.
we'll go full on death grips. We'll go, yeah. So I don't know what
Brilliant.
I myself don't even know what's coming next, but
Mm.
you know that's a little seedling of what you could expect. I might say that now
Mm.
and then I'll just do completely opposite and I'll just lie to your face now, but you know that's the nature of it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah,
Yeah. Fantastic. No, I didn't use brilliant there. Quite proud of myself.
brilliant. You did a brilliant job there with your choice of words.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Make sure you
Yeah,
all go listen to the new album from Seven, and thanks again for joining me
Citronica.
today. Yeah, thank
Thank
you all
you.
for joining me today. This is
Thank
interviews with
you.
Don't Dial David, and we'll see you all again soon.
Hopefully. Peace out.
See you later.